David is done, Celeste was seen on video at one of his concerts. So a video that appears to be showing the Celeste girl that was found in David's Tesla at one of his concerts just resurfaced. And if that wasn't bad enough, in the video, she isn't just some random person attending the concert. She has a balcony seat and she is standing by David's brother. During the video, David even looks up and waves to the balcony that the girl is standing on. In addition to this, there's also a song of David's that just leaked that literally talks about blood-stained car seats. At this point, I don't know how this man has a single defender.
Every single day, new pieces of this David mess are popping up online. And honestly, it feels like the internet is doing more digging than anyone else right now. We're talking shocking details, wild claims from the press, and rumors that just don't seem to stop. It's insane that while all this is swirling around, David is still out here walking free like nothing ever happened. Now here's the craziest part. Despite everything that's already been uncovered, authorities haven't officially labeled David as a suspect yet. That's right, at this very moment, he's not considered a suspect, at least not publicly. Sure, behind closed doors, there might be different conversations happening, but as far as we know, nothing has been put on record. Can you believe that? The tricky part is this: investigators can't seem to lock down the actual cause and manner of Celeste's death. That missing piece is holding everything back. It's not like David has been ruled out. No way. But the evidence they need to pin this on him just isn't solid enough for them to make a move. And that gap is what's keeping him on the outside for now. But here's what we do know. A body was discovered in David's Tesla, a car that he himself owns. On top of that, Celeste's mom came forward and claimed her daughter had been in some kind of relationship with someone named David. Those dots are starting to connect in ways that can't just be ignored. That claim from Celeste's mom lines right up with David's name, and the internet has gone wild connecting every possible dot.
Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest.
People are digging through old photos, matching up tattoos, even pointing to song lyrics where David flat out mentions a girl named Celeste. All of this has only pushed the public deeper into suspicion, and let's be real. David's image is looking worse and worse by the day. When the news first broke, some people actually tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. They thought maybe someone had stolen his Tesla. Maybe he was just unlucky that his name was tied to it, and that it was a messed up coincidence. There were even fans saying it was sad that his car got caught up in this whole mess. But then came the twist that flipped everything upside down. David still went ahead and performed at his own concert the very night the body was discovered inside his vehicle. That detail made people stop in their tracks. He didn't look shaken, he didn't appear worried, and he carried on like nothing had happened. At the time, the defense was simple. He's cooperating with authorities, so clearly he didn't do it. But now, people aren't buying that narrative anymore. The internet detectives have been rewatching his music videos, analyzing every line of his songs, and pulling up old posts that suddenly look a whole lot darker. It's not just about the car anymore, it's about the strange patterns and symbolism in his art that people say were hiding in plain sight.
Anybody want to see a hand, please? Come on. Cause I know you and I didn't know how to say no.
And while David's team insists he's been working with investigators and remind everyone that no official charges have been filed against him, that hasn't stopped the fallout. Ever since the body was identified, the backlash has been brutal and relentless. The moment Celeste's identity was confirmed, everything around David came crashing down. His tour was suddenly canceled, his deluxe album was yanked, and his once loyal fan base started questioning everything. On paper, he's not a suspect yet, but that doesn't mean he's safe. Far from it. The police are still investigating, and the silence around key details makes it clear this case is far from over. Right now, things are stuck in a strange limbo. Investigators aren't saying much, but the internet refuses to wait. Every day, people are piecing things together, dropping theories, and exposing new claims that only make this whole story feel darker. And the latest updates are shaking up the timeline in ways nobody expected. Here's what's been reported. Celeste had been listed as a missing person since last year. She was 13 when she first went missing, and her body was tragically discovered the day after what would have been her 15th birthday. Based on reports, it now looks like her life was taken when she was just 14. Her friends even said the last time they heard from her was in August, and by early September, everything had changed forever. The official discovery date was September 8th. But here's where it gets chilling. Brand new footage surfaced this week from one of David's shows in Silver Spring, Maryland. In that video, up in the balcony, there appears to be a girl in a black tube top, the same kind of clothing Celeste was allegedly wearing when she was found.
New video footage of a girl believed to be Celeste at David's concert in late August has surfaced, which would be the last date she was seen alive, but the internet is divided on the latest update about this footage. A girl who looks a lot like Celeste was spotted at David's concert on either the 23rd or the 24th of August in Silver Spring, Maryland. She was up on the balcony on the side of the stage watching on, and it's hard to deny that she resembles Celeste. She looks a lot like her. And if it is her, it would really close the window on when she potentially died. The images unfortunately aren't super clear, but her hair resembles the hair we know Celeste had from her photos. And she was also wearing a black tube top at this concert, which is what we know she was wearing when she was found dead in David's trunk based on police reports. In another video, we see David pointing at the girl on the balcony while he makes a half heart.
And the kicker? That concert took place only 12 days before David's Tesla was abandoned with her inside. The timing is almost too close to ignore, and people online are already asking if this could be the missing piece that ties David even closer to the case. David's Tesla was actually towed on September 5th, and just 3 days later, on September 8th, the body was discovered inside. That timeline has left everyone glued to the footage from his Silver Spring show at the end of August. Fans are convinced the girl spotted in the balcony on August 24th looked exactly like Celeste, meaning she might have still been alive at that point. But then TMZ stepped in and dropped a bombshell. According to them, a source connected to the case insisted that the girl in that video was not Celeste Rivas. That revelation only added more confusion. How could someone look so identical to her? And why does it feel like David is constantly surrounded by women who look just like her? People have started noticing a disturbing pattern, whether it's in his music videos, in public appearances, or even who he's spotted with in real life. There always seems to be a girl resembling Celeste. Adding fuel to the fire, David was recently seen with another girl who just so happened to also be named Celeste. Fans are asking the obvious, what is going on with his obsession over this name? TMZ even claimed that some of Celeste's own friends had been whispering for a while that David was romantically involved with her, though no one seemed to know the exact details. And those closest to him apparently didn't see it as a secret. In fact, within his circle, people openly assumed the two were together. That's why the news hit so hard. Multiple people have admitted they were shocked when the truth came out that Celeste was only 14. Many claimed they genuinely believed she was older, around 18 or 19, because of how she carried herself in public. They also pointed out that she was often spotted at industry events and parties with David, places that had strict 18+ restrictions. To them, her presence made it seem like she was of age, but now those same details have taken on a much darker meaning. According to TMZ, law enforcement sources claim Celeste was carrying multiple fake IDs, which made it possible for her to pass herself off as an adult. And let's be real, in Hollywood, that changes everything. At those high-profile A-list events, security isn't always strict when a celebrity walks in. If you're rolling up with a famous name, the last thing security wants is chaos outside a venue. Most of the time, they just wave the whole group inside, no questions asked. So if David was walking into a party, chances are nobody was even bothering to check who was with him. That could explain why so many in David's circle swore they believed Celeste was at least 18. His friends say she carried herself in a way that made her seem older, and paired with fake IDs and access through celebrity connections, the illusion was enough to fool plenty of people. But now that excuse isn't sitting right with the public. And then there's that Silver Spring video from August 24th that refuses to die down. Fans still swear it was Celeste in the balcony, pointing out the eerie resemblance and saying it could have been one of the last times she was seen alive. Yet sources tied to the case are doubling down, saying the girl in the footage wasn't her. The strange part? It just so happens to be someone who looks nearly identical to her. And that coincidence has everyone buzzing about how bizarre this situation really is. But things aren't stopping with the concert footage. New developments have surfaced about the Los Angeles home David was staying at, and what's being said now is only adding more heat to this case. According to TMZ, the Los Angeles house tied to David's circle wasn't just any rental. It was loaded with security cameras. We're talking full coverage. The front of the property, the backyard, even the surrounding street. The landlord swears there's no way anyone could step foot near that place without being caught on video. But here's the catch. The landlord doesn't have access to the recordings. Only the tenant does. And in this case, that tenant was David's manager. Now, reports say LAPD has already searched the house, but it's unclear whether they've gotten into those cameras or not. And that detail is huge. If investigators can actually pull the footage, it could be the smoking gun that shows exactly who was coming and going around the time Celeste lost her life. The possibility of literal video proof sitting in that system is driving people online crazy because nobody knows if the police even have it yet. The lease itself adds another layer. Back in February of last year, David's manager signed off on the house for $20,000 a month. The landlord insists he had no clue David was living there at all. Every piece of paperwork and every bit of communication went through the manager, Josh. On paper, Josh is the only one tied to that property. The landlord also says he never saw Celeste at the house. And in fact, he only spoke with Josh 3 times since handing over the keys. Their most recent conversation, just last weekend. And in that talk, they apparently decided it was best to break the lease. Josh agreed to move everything out by the end of the week, cutting ties with the house altogether. Now, this is where things start getting even more unsettling. TMZ uncovered an old TikTok comment from back in February 2024 that has people completely shaken. In that comment, someone straight up accused David of messing with a 13-year-old girl and wrote that LAPD would eventually catch him. They literally said, "Waiting for LAPD to get your butt for messing with a 13-year-old girl." And get this, that comment was posted under one of David's own TikToks where he was promoting his song, "Leave Her." In the caption, he wrote, "Me to everyone I tricked into thinking this was a love song." The irony is chilling. The post's comments are now limited, but TMZ confirmed that the accusation was in fact real at one point. This isn't the only time the topic has come up either. There have been plenty of whispers online, Discord screenshots, leaked messages, and fan claims suggesting people already knew David was involved with someone under 18. The problem is, with so much content surfacing, it's nearly impossible to separate what's legit from what's fabricated. Still, this February TikTok comment is undeniable proof that somebody, at least, was making those accusations publicly way before this case exploded. And here's something that makes the timeline even stranger. That comment was posted in February 2024. The same month, David's manager signed the lease on that $20,000 a month Los Angeles house. Coincidence? Maybe. But people online are starting to wonder if it really is just random timing. I'm not here to point fingers at the manager, but if David was living in that house alongside him, it raises questions. What exactly did the manager know? Did he see anything? Did he hear anything? It's details like these that people can't stop dissecting, and it's why the conversation around this case is only getting louder and darker. The questions just keep piling up. Was David actually living in that house full time? Or was it really just his manager's spot? If they were both staying there, what made them decide to live together in the first place? Sure, artists can be close with their managers, but this setup feels different. People are now asking, how close were they really? And more importantly, was Celeste ever brought there? The timing is what makes this so unsettling. Right around the same month, the manager signed off on this sky-high lease. Fans online were already accusing David of being with someone way too young. Then you mix in the concert footage, the eerie TikTok comment, and the security cameras that could hold the answers. It's no wonder people feel like none of this adds up. At the end of the day, it has to be said, David still hasn't been officially named as a suspect, and he hasn't been charged with anything. But with so much swirling around him, from the body in his Tesla to leaked screenshots to witnesses saying they thought Celeste was older, the spotlight on him is only getting brighter. Right now, there are way more questions than answers, and every new detail makes this whole case look darker than the last. What's even crazier is how people online have started digging into David's older content. Stuff that was never questioned before, but now looks like it might have been hinting at something all along. Fans are pointing out old Instagram lives where he casually mentioned being with someone who understands him, but never revealed who. Back then, nobody paid attention. But now, after everything that's come out, those same clips are being rewatched in a whole new light. Even his music is under the microscope. People are pulling lyrics from tracks released years ago, connecting them to Celeste by name or by eerie coincidences, like references to a forbidden love or a girl he wasn't supposed to be with. Whether or not those lyrics were ever about her, fans are convinced they're proof that something was going on behind the scenes. And here's the kicker. Industry insiders are whispering that David had a reputation for surrounding himself with younger crowds at his shows and after parties. Some say it was brushed off at the time as him just vibing with fans, but now it doesn't look so harmless. The same people who used to laugh it off are suddenly saying they wish they'd looked closer. What makes this even more suspicious is how fast everyone connected to him seems to be distancing themselves. Collaborators are deleting photos, producers are scrubbing credits, and even some of his old friends are unfollowing him online. It feels like the entire industry knows something big is about to come out, and nobody wants to get caught in the crossfire. The real question hanging in the air now is, if all of this was already bubbling under the surface, how much did people in his inner circle know? And why did it take the discovery of Celeste for everyone to suddenly start speaking out? And honestly, it blows my mind that David was allegedly out in public walking around with Celeste like it was nothing. Some fans are even saying they knew how young she really was, yet they still saw him with her, and maybe even having some kind of relationship. That part is beyond disturbing. The fact that this wasn't hidden in the shadows, but happening in plain sight, makes the whole thing even more terrifying. What makes it even sadder is how this case keeps unraveling piece by piece, not through official statements, but through TikTok comments, fan-shot videos, and old screenshots that people are now pulling back up. It feels like the internet is doing the work in real time, while the authorities are still holding back. And the deeper people dig, the more twisted it all seems to get. Right now, David hasn't been officially charged, and legally, he isn't in the clear or in handcuffs. But socially, he's already in deep trouble. The internet court has spoken, and it's not looking good for him. Every day his name trends, his old posts get dissected, and his reputation takes another hit. It's like his entire career is collapsing under the weight of this storm, and the fallout is only growing bigger. But what do you think? Do you believe David's circle really didn't know what was going on? Or were they all just turning a blind eye? Drop your thoughts down in the comments because this story is far from over. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you on the next one. And be sure to check out the video on your screen right now for more shocking celebrity drama. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.